Hey guys, how are you? It's me, Zahid Buttar. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am fired up, man. I am fired up like you don't even know how fired up I am. I am that fired up. It is like crazy kind of fired up. Just a couple of things real fast. This is being recorded. I wasn't 100% sure how this thing was going to go down. Hey guys, how are you? It's me, Zahid Buttar. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am fired up, man. I am fired up like you don't even know how fired up I am. I'm that fired up. It is like crazy kind of fired up. Just a couple of things real fast. How about that? Okay, good. Back to business. Okay, so I forgot what I was saying. All right, so here's what we're going to do. It's kind of an interesting new technological thing. I've got my iPad. I'm going to be drawing on that. I'm trying to get it to the screen. So just bear with me if we have some faux pas. But I've got 9:04, so let's rock and roll and let's get on with this. Let's get on with this deal. So let me pull up my presentation here. And there's one or two questions, that we have, which I might, if this thing doesn't go long, I'll address. Okay, so let's get going here. All right. Okay, so we are talking about going to 3-star gold in 90 days, guys. And I'm fired up about this because 3-star gold is a significant position in Advocare. We don't talk much about it anymore. I don't know why, but it is you want to be at 3-star gold for the financial reasons. And I'll get into more than that a little bit. We're going to be doing this using the Slim and Trim 28. In case you have not heard the news, this is Advocare's brand new program. It got released literally 24 hours ago. And the things you need to know about it, this is the former bundle, distributor-led bundle called the Bye Bye Belly Challenge. And this thing is absolutely bad to the bone, you guys. For a month supply, you've got 2 boxes of meal replacement shakes, 2 metabolic nutrition systems, 2 bags of Slim, 2 bags of Biocharge. The retail price on the whole thing is between $285 and $289, depending on the M&S. And for the next couple of pay periods, you are getting a shaker bottle as well as a lifestyle guide, as well as free shipping. That shaker bottle is unbelievable. At the Diamond Retreat, they gave Kim and I one, and these are awesome. Stainless steel, keeps the hot stuff hot, the cold stuff cold. Apparently it was on Shark Tank, and the retail value on just that shaker bottle is $30. So that is the give in this program. And I'm not going into how to promote it. I'm not getting into any of that stuff, okay? The company has done a fabulous job with the videos and the website and all that kind of stuff. But I recognized in the beginning of December when this program was rolled out to us, I recognized what was going to happen last night. Last night, we were going to have a big bump of excitement and then confusion. And I knew that today was going to be the day of confusion for many, many, many distributors. So we have had a chance to be looking at all of this together since December 3rd. I believe the Emeralds may have had access to it since maybe Monday. I think since Tuesday night, maybe it's a Ruby. So like everyone has had exposure to it, but it's just some of the leaders just haven't had a chance to really kind of frame this into something meaningful and how to utilize this energy to get to a certain point. And that's what we're doing tonight, okay? So this whole deal is about 90 days, 3-star gold using the Slim and Trim 28 to get there. By the way, connected to the Slim and Trim 28 is the contest, okay? Don't underestimate the power of this contest. From a promotional standpoint and from a conversation standpoint, you can be talking to people about the Slim and Trim 28, that's to lean their body out, or the contest. And of course, you can see all the details about the contest online. But the bottom line is the top grand prize is a year's worth of Spark, 25 grand cash, and the feature magazine, feature in the Impact magazine, right? Now, that's going to be right solution for somebody. Someone's going to be driven by that. And you need to have these in your tool belt, right? What am I talking to people about? I'm talking to them about Slim and Trim. I'm talking about the contest. And then the thing that a lot of you guys may not even realize, there's an incentive going on with this incredible, incredible t-shirt. You can read what it says. It says you can accomplish anything in life that you're willing to work for. That is what Drew Brees told his 4 little sons, or 3 sons, I'm not sure how many he has, on live TV when he broke the record for the most NFL rushing yards. And it was so significant to me, I wrote it in a note card and I say it to my kids every single night. And so this is printed on the back of a shirt, on the front of the shirt, and on the back of the shirt are all of his stats. And so this T-shirt is available for anybody. And here's how you earn it. It's very simple. You enroll somebody, and you sell 97 QV. I'll get to that in a second. And you'll get one T-shirt. So that will be for me. And then we enroll another person and they buy another 97 QV of products. And we would get another T-shirt for Ken. Okay. So you have to understand that you have to enroll 2 new people, and they each have to do $100 worth of volume. That's what QV is, the same thing as PGV. Think of it that way, right? So $100 and a new preferred customer distributor. Okay, you have 2 of those, you get 1 T-shirt. If you have 4 of them, you get 2 T-shirts. So everyone should be thinking to themselves, first 4 people, I'm going to go fast. I'm going to get 4 people, get my T-shirt. And you got to help the person place their order. It can be the ST28, or it can be something else entirely. Now, the people who are just the crazy sponsors like Matt and Sarah Thorpe, right? These guys, the top 50 in the whole company are going to get autographed jerseys by Drew. You need to know this, okay? So what is the deal here, right? My intention was not to get you excited with the last couple of slides. I just want to kind of recap all the hubbub. What I'm here to talk to you about is 3-Star Gold. What is 3-Star Gold? Why is it important? And how do I do it? So here, first and foremost, guys, here's what you have to, I've got some paper notes here too, so I got to make sure I'm looking at the right thing. Here's what you need to know. This is our calendar. This is your 90 days. This is what I was promoting and talking about. January, February, March. I mean, we are 11 days from January. So, we're like back here somewhere, right? We're not even on the calendar yet. But I wanted to start with January 1st because that's the night of a pay period close. And that's what the little blue dot represents. The next pay period close is on the 15th. Then we have one on February 5th, February 19th, March 5th, and March 19th, okay? And then the next one is obviously going to be April 2nd. Why is this important, and why am I showing this to you when I should be talking to you about the nuances of the ingredients of Slim and how it interacts with biocharge to cause the fat molecules to disappear in your body? I'm talking about this because this is cash, guys. Pay period 1 is a 2-weeker. The one ending January 1st is a 2-weeker. The one ending January 15th is a 2-weeker. The one ending on 2/5 is a 3-weeker. You need to know this. Then we have a 2-weeker, then we have a 2-weeker, then we have a 2-weeker. And that's the end of the 90 days. This is plenty of time to make it happen. I recognize that as I say this to you out loud, some of you guys, it's like instant repelling, like, oh my gosh, there's no way, Z, I could have 3-star. You guys don't even know. You don't even understand how fast you can move here in Advocare. I don't know what the mind virus has gotten into the water, and people are believing or not believing or seeing or not seeing. All I know is that we've done it before. We have done it again, and we've done it again. We've done it again in our 16 and a half years here with Advocare, with distributors from every walk of life, from every state. It is possible in 90 days. And that's the number one thing you got to do. You got to believe it's possible for you. You have got to believe it's possible for you. It's not going to happen for you if you're distracted by another business. It's not going to happen for you if you're distracted by Facebook. It's not going to happen for you with a whole list of other things that are it's going to happen for you if you follow some very simple things at the very, very end of this, okay? So understand and recognize the power of what I've showed you here. I'm showing you when that 3-week pay period is, because that 3-week pay period, you could finish up 3-Star Gold in that 3-week pay period. Or you could start 3-Star Gold in that 3-week pay period. Or you could help somebody on your team get to silver, or get yourself to silver, or get yourself to gold. You see how that all works? It all plugs in together. That 3-weeker, that one ending on, that pay period ending on 2/5 is absolutely critically important, but nowhere near as important as that pay period that ends before that on January 15th. So if you do your cards right, if you do the next 2 weeks right, but ending January 1st, then we can build momentum, qualify you for your pin in that pay period ending the 15th, and then pin you on February 5th. Now, let's say you qualify February 5th, then we can help you get the pin in February 19th. Why am I talking about this? Because, guys, everybody is going our way right now. We are jumping into a moving stream with this ST28, ST Slim and Trim 28. We are jumping into a moving stream and like going double rocket speed. Okay, so this is why it can happen. Momentum is a force multiplier. Momentum is a force multiplier. Right now, Advocare is giving us the tool. You guys know how great these products are, and the opportunity is just like a volcano about to go. So that's what I'm talking about. So that is why 3-star gold. Now, I know that you're looking at this and you're thinking to yourself, please, God, please make sure, please tell me Z's not serious. Well, I'm serious, guys. It's just 3-star gold. And this is like a static state of 3-star gold. And I'm not going to tell you anything about this diagram. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw it out. So let me now shift to my other technological device. It is called an iPad. And let me see if I can make this thing happen. All right, here we go. How about that? That's the iPad. Okay, so here we go, guys. Here's what 3-star gold is. You ready? Here's you. You have 3 people on your team. Otherwise, I'm missing. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. When you have these first 3 guys on your team, that is what we call the foundation. Foundation. Okay. Then we help those 3 find their 3. Okay. So you see kind of the notation there, right? This is called the level of duplication. Duplication. Then we help each one of these guys get their 3. So we have 3 there. Now, remember this is 3, right? So each of these 3 has 3, so that's 9. And this is called the level of explosion. Okay? This isn't always how it happens. It's never quite this, complete, clean, but you need to understand this general concept. This is you up here, and these are the 3 people who are business builders on your team, the 3 people who want to build a business, the 3 people who want to get paid. There's going to be 3 people here, 1, 2, 3. This is 9 people here. There's 27 people here for a total of 39 people. This, what I just drew, is your blueprint. Okay, this is called a blueprint. And at the end, I'm going to show you exactly, we can get this on advocare.com, but you need to know that your blueprint is a very, very important part of your business. If you're not working from a blueprint, you're spinning your wheels. I mean, if you are, and this happens, it's happened to us in many phases of our journey, where we're just stuck in the foundation phase because we just can't get past into the duplication because no one really wants to get anything done, right? Well, because of ST28, because it's January coming up here, and we're in the right time of year, a lot of people are going to want to move our way. Okay, so with this structure here, here's what we're going to do. 3-star gold pays off around, before I tell you the number here, the number is 25 grand. I'm going to actually show you and demonstrate to you how it happens. But the thing I want to show you here real fast is, you notice, there we go. And there we go, these 2 lines, okay? So these people here, everybody under this guy here is, this is considered a leg of business, a leg of business. And I've just drawn down to the advisors. Some of these guys are going to have lots of distributors. Some of them are going to have lots of preferred customers. There's going to be a ton of preferred customers and retail customers in there. But in general, right, this is another leg and this is another leg, right? So these are all legs of businesses. And what I want to give you is a visualization on each leg representing an asset in your business, right? So if you had an apartment complex as an asset, or if you had rental homes as an asset, you'd have to take care of them. Well, this is like we're literally building an apartment complex. Each one of these circles represents a house. So what we're going to do is you're going to get paid to build this, and then as products flow through this structure, you're going to get paid again. That's the residual part of this business. So let's talk about some numbers here. Okay, let's talk some numbers. All right, in this leg, and I'm not going to, there's 13 bodies in this leg, but in real life, there's a lot more bodies in the leg. But this, here's our leg. Here's what we're talking about right there. right? In this leg, if we have 20 people do an ST28, okay? If we do have 20 people do an ST28, the volume on that is $5,700. Okay? Now, I want you to, let me just hit pause here because I always feel like I have to say this at this part. If you see this and your eyes start bugging out, don't stress out. This is the reason we have something called the success system. The person you're going to work with, or the person who they're working with, or somebody up in your lineage line, somebody understands all of this gibberish, and they can do it on the fly, dynamically, for whoever. That's their job. This is why I'm doing this right now, to help you understand. You know, you don't have to know what necessarily what happens. You just capture the part you want to capture, but then your team leader is going to be helping you fill this blueprint out. So we're looking to have this leg, this organization, produce $5,700 worth of volume. What's $5,700 worth of volume? It's only 20 ST28s, guys. 20. That's it, right? No more complicated than that. Now, we don't get paid. Let's say we actually also have this leg and this leg. So each one of these legs has $5,700 of retail volume. Okay. So I'm just gonna, I know 5,700 times 3, I don't know what the hell that is. So I'm just gonna round it down here, guys, to 15. You see what I did there, right? I multiplied, I just dropped the 700 and I said, this leg of business is $5,000 volume. This one is 5,000 and this one is 5,000. In fact, it's more than 5,000, but I'm just for easy math. That's what I'm trying to help you understand. This is a retail volume. 15,000 is retail volume. We don't get paid on retail volume. We get paid on half of that. So in effect, the business volume is what it's called, is actually 7,500. These are too fat. Okay, so the business volume is 7,500. Now, the way we get paid at the end of the pay period, every single pay period, what happens is the computers will look at the numbers and it will determine how much override you get. For those of you guys who I work with, you hear me always constantly saying, you've got to have your volume at 1,000, you got to have your volume at 1,000, you got to have your volume at 1,000. Here's why. If your volume's not at 1,000, we get paid leadership. And what we're about to show you here is leadership. At the silver leadership level, you get paid 3% of the business volume. At the gold level, you get paid 2%. At the 3-star, you get paid 2%. You get paid 2%. I know that's going to gibberish sheet. 2%. Okay, so I hope this is all making sense. I hope this is clear so far. But what we're talking about here is we're talking about building a structure in the next 90 days where you have 3 teams, 3 legs, 3 assets that are consuming 20 ST28s. That's going to generate $7,500 worth of business volume. And then 7% of that 7,500, right? So 7%, this is your override, is actually 7%. So let's do some numbers on a pay period. I know that last part was a little bit jittery. Let's do some numbers here. And I hope you guys understand this other part. So let me just hit the eraser. Let me just erase some of this mumbo jumbo out of the way so we can have some more room to see this, okay? So the pay period ends because you've been busting your butt, and now all of a sudden, the computer says 7%, that's here, the 7% of the business volume is going to be $525, okay? So you're going to get $525. That's what your paycheck is going to be. But because that exceeds the silver's requirement is you have to have $100 of override. Well, since you had more than $100 of override, you're going to get 3% of the business volume. So the 3% of the business volume is $225, okay? And so on. But the gold requirement is you've got to have $500 of override. You have 25. You can see that, right? 25. So the computer is going to give you 2% of the business volume. In this case, it's $125. And then you're going to have, the computer's going to say, okay, well, the requirement for 3-star gold is to have $500 override and 3 legs. Well, guess what? You have leg 1, leg 2, leg 3. And so the computer is going to give you another 2% of the business volume. So that's another $125. If you do the math, if Jesse Reynolds was here, he would have done the math 25 ways to Sunday already. Your paycheck for that pay period would be 1,000. The pay period would be 1,050. If you do the 2 pay periods in a row, and that's what our game is here. We're not interested in doing something for 1 pay period. We want to do it, stick it, sustain it, so we can actually have a life of freedom. In a month, that's going to translate to $2,100 in a month. In a year, that's going to translate to 25,200 per year. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why 3-star gold is so important. We're talking 25. And now understand what I'm saying here. You might think to yourself, oh, Z, $2,500 or $25,000, that's not that big a deal. I get paid more at work. Yeah, but you know what you do? You've got to trade time to get that money. It's a different type of earnings. It's a different type of income. This is residual income. You are building a structure. You're building a structure. And when you build a structure, right, as an asset, when you build that structure, what happens is when product flows through there, like this year, it's a ST28. Remember what we're doing, guys? And we're rebuilding in 2019. We're going to have lots of ST28s go through. We're going to have lots of 24 DCs go through. We're going to have lots of Spark go through. That's all going to generate volume. Okay. I hope that's crystal clear to you, because that is what we're talking about here. All right. Now I got to figure out how to get back to that PowerPoint. My goodness. How do I do that? Ooh, look at that. How about that? We're back. We're back. There we go. So I just drew out for you 3-star gold. Okay. Now, as you saw when I was drawing that out, you saw the structure, right? The circles on top of the circles. That's called building depth. So we're going to be building depth using the Champions Pathway. And guys, you better believe I'm about to draw again. All right. So here we go. I'm going to start drawing for you how all of this ties together with our favorite thing called Champions Pathway. All right. Champions Pathway. So here, I'm going to draw this a little bit smaller if I can. My fingers are too fat. Wish I had like a stylus. If I had a stylus, that would work so good. Okay, so here is you, and you go out and you find a new person, right? This person, superstar. This person is going to say, oh my goodness, because you're helping, you're going to do something to some of your teammates or whatever, and they're like, oh my goodness, I really want to do this thing as a business. What do I do? How do I do it? Well, we're going to tell them and help them understand that you can make some right now money. Those words, right now money, get used to saying those. Right now money is not, these aren't my words, they're my friend Rachel Witt's, and it's phenomenal because it helps a person understand they can get paid right now. So here's what I want you to visualize, okay? Okay, these lines are pay period 1, pay period 2, pay period 3. Remember earlier I showed you January 1st, January 15th, February 5th. Well, you could substitute them for P1, P2, P3, but each of these columns just represents 3 pay periods. So what I'm going to help my new person do, right? My new person, remember that's who we're talking about here. We're going to help this person get a bonus. What I'm going to do is I'm going to help this one. Oopsie. Oh, look at that. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Try that. Try that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to help my new person find 2 people. And now, of course, I'm not going to be able to go find 2 new people. They're going to be, these 2 people are going to be from the market of my new person. Okay. Each of these 2 people do an ST28. The volume is going to be $600. And that $600 volume is going to earn my new guy, how do I do this? Let me just go like that. $100 Champions Pathway bonus. If my friend Candace Shields on here, this is how Candace got her first $100 bonus. Her friend Crystal and Ricky and T. Copley, they helped her find 2. So let's see what happens in pay period 2. In pay period 2, I'm still helping this guy. And this guy is going to talk to 2 more of his friends. And they decide to also do ST28. That's going to be another $600 worth of volume, right? Roughly 600, because, $285. That is going to generate another $100 Champions Pathway bonus. You guys see how this is working? So now my new guy here, new person, dude, they are stoked. This is because this is bonus money. It's outside the scope of wholesale commissions and retail commissions and maybe even override. They're just fired up. They're getting paid. Well, guess what happens in pay period 3? Not only do we go out there and we find 2 new people, right? Because why? Because we're not going to find just one person and camp out with that person until the cows come home. We're in the business of 3-star gold here. We got to build the infrastructure. We got to get things going here. So each of these 2 people, they're also going to do an ST28. You might say, well, Z, why is it 2 people doing ST28? And the reason is because ST28 worked great for the last 4 guys, so we're going to stay on that bandwagon. And consequently, by the time pay period 3 rolls around, the 2 guys in pay period 1, they need a refill. So what do? They order again, right? Which means that's another $600 of volume, right? So we have another $600 from these guys' ST28, $600 from there. So we have a total of $1,200 of volume. That generates $400 rookie champions pathway bonus for our guy here, guys. You understand that? That's just one body. There's just one body, just one person we're talking about here. And remember, in that previous slide, you saw how many bodies we had. You see, so this is going to take some work. This is going to take some work, but it's so doable. This is how we build depth. So now what do? What's the takeaway from all this? Well, the new person, let me see if I can do superstar. Oops, superstar. The new person, the superstar, they are just fired up. Here's what they became. Here's a win for them. They scored a total, I'm sorry, this should say 200. They scored a total of $400 champions pathway bonus. They went to the advisor level, okay? And they have earned 2 Drew Brees t-shirts. 2 Drew Brees tees. All right? So what happens in this blah, 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 blah. Let me just kill that. Let me just go back to here. Continue. All right, so there we go. So what happens here is we are building depth and we are building our infrastructure. This is what we're building out right here, you guys. I just got to how we build this blob out. Now, I'm sure you are just overwhelmed and you're freaked out and you're thinking to yourself, Z, this will never happen for me, dude. You are so crazy and it ain't never going to happen. And let me tell you, this is going to happen because it starts with an understanding of the pay periods. It starts with the understanding of the calendar. We're now going to go, you understand big picture, what we're trying to do, building an apartment complex. And now you understand the little picture, which is Champions Pathway, right? Now we're going to take it even closer down to now and today, okay? So first and foremost, understand we got a pay period starting on Monday, ending Tuesday the 1st, then the 15th, then February 5th, which is a 3-weeker, right? And so we want to make sure we're done by the 15th pin qualification, and then you end up to into March. So here's how you're gonna do it, okay? First and foremost, you need to have your tools in your hand. You need a blueprint. So you can get the blueprint as well as the Champions Pathway worksheet. Go to advocare.com, log in, don't do it now, just do it later. Go to tools, go to resources, and go to business tools, and you'll find those 2 documents there. You gotta print them out, guys. You gotta print them out, and you gotta get to work, right? That's the first thing you've gotta do. What's the second thing you do? You gotta make a list of new people. I was showing Kim this right before we got started to kind of show what the presentation was gonna look like. And I need you guys to understand something, okay? Kim and I, we're just normal, average. We're probably below average distributors. Our job is to help new people get started in the products. Kim had a guy go last night and do an ST28, and my guy did an ST28 today. That's what we do. This, what I'm doing here, this webinar, whatever, this is for you guys. After I'm done with this webinar tonight, I'm done. I'm not doing any more webinars. I'm not going to be doing any more, hey guys, let's do that. No, because you guys are already inside the blueprint. You guys are already part of the team. You guys are already connected to the mothership called advocare.com and Advocare HQ, and you get the communications and whatnot. You don't need us. You know who needs us? It's our new people. So we are going to make a list of new people. You need to make a list of new people. If you want 3-star gold in the next 90 days, you got to make a list of new people starting tonight. Some of the people I've been working with, they started like 2-3 weeks ago. but you got to have that list of people, not on your phone or on your Facebook or book or on your Instagram, in a written format, because each person needs to be engaged with. And here's what's going to end up happening. You got to get into a conversation with these people. You really, truly do. The conversation can start on social media or texting, but it's got to end up face to face, or it's got to end up over the phone, or it's got to end up over a Zoom, or it's got to end up on a FaceTime, or however, all the different technological things. Now, compound that with where we're at right now. We're on December 20th, 5 days, we got Christmas. Guys, everyone's getting all Christmas-fied on there. The only people who aren't are the Advocare leaders. We're just chomping at the bit. We want people to get excited. So be sensitive to the fact that people are in the holiday season, people are in holiday mode. And so while you may not be able to get in a conversation on the phone, this and that, the other, when you do get them, be sensitive to where they are. I had a couple of great guys that couldn't show up last night because they're in holiday trips with their family. But guess what? They found out what's going on and they want to get started when we get started in January. That's a win. That's a win for them. It's a win for us. So be mindful of that. You've got to have the conversation. Just be mindful of where that person is. And I want to give you a mindset here that Kim and I used for our meeting last night. I told Kim a week ago when we started inviting people, it doesn't matter who shows up, right? I'm assuming not many people are going to show up. I'm assuming people are going to say, yeah, but then they don't show up and whatever. We didn't get our feelings hurt when the room was full of 7 or 8 people and we had a couple of new guys there. We weren't upset about that at all because we conditioned our mind to accept the fact it's a busy time of year. So don't get hung up on who doesn't show up. Get hung up on making a list, working off of that list, over invite, get 1 or 2 people to say, green light, go, hey, I'm kind of curious, and then you can engage into the conversation. You want to be able to utilize Advocare's phenomenal website. Now, everywhere I go today, I've been seeing advocare.com/slim and trim. That's beautiful, and I love it. Here's a problem. For my new guy, I'm not sending them to that website. I've got to make sure that my ID number is inserted before the slim and trim part and the .com part. You've got to do that. If you don't, a new person who doesn't have an account is going to go to Advocare and could, not will, but could go to advocare.com and then end up purchasing on somebody else's account. It happens all the time. It's always happened. So what I want you to wrap your mind around is if you put the advocare.com slim and trim thing on your website or your social media and someone goes there and they sign up, they have no way to connect them back to you. So you have to take care of your business, right? So make that list of new people, engage them in a conversation. By the time you engage them in a conversation and they say yes, and you're answering their questions, right? And you're maybe getting your team leader on the phone or FaceTime or whatever to help you get questions answered or whatnot. By that time, you're going to be able to help walk through and get them to the right spot on your team, which is going to be frontline to you. And then finally, guys, let your sponsor know when somebody says yeah, because we want your sponsor to get involved. Use the team concept. We call it the success system, whatever. It's a team sport. Use the teams to invite these new guys to get started, right? So if you don't have confidence, and maybe you're new, or maybe you just don't, have the right words, just organize some people. Your team leader will jump onto a Zoom deal or whatever and answer all these questions together at one time and help them present it. What I find with new guys or people who are not very successful is they overtalk. They overtalk this thing. It is not complicated. If you want to be healthy, you got options. If you decide you like Advocare or you like what you've seen online or whatever, I can help you with the Advocare products. If you decide you want to do, this or that, that's no problem at all. But you have to recognize that the more people, I'm not talking about a ganging situation where a lot of people gang up on your prospect. I'm talking about you having a relationship with your prospect, right? You're not going to have a relationship with a passive acquaintance from Facebook. You're not going to be able to get that person onto a 3-way call. But then using Facebook, you might be able to connect with a person from college or high school who you've always been tight with. You can have a conversation and say, hey, this program's flying off the shelves here. Love to introduce you to my friend who kind of got me started. They can answer your questions and they're a pro. That makes it logical, makes it normal. And some people are going to say, man, I don't care about talking to your friend, whatever. I want to go buy it now. Help them out, let them go buy it. All right. So guys, with that said, that is the official end of tonight's show, right? It is the absolute end of tonight's show. However, I did get an email from one of our up-and-coming champion ladies. I promise you I would handle that live online. It's the only question I'm actually going to respond to. So let me find Fran's question. because it was actually pretty darn good. Fran, she said, questions for tonight. Okay, so here we go. The question is, hi, hello, Kim and Z. We're basically starting over out of the gate since our move. They just moved to New York Valley a little while ago. These questions aren't appropriate, you know, whatever, blah, blah. I told her, hey, no problem, I'll answer them. And so first and foremost, is putting out, posting flyers in local places a reasonable way to get the word face out in the local area? Or is it just so old school now? I keep in mind that anything I do reflects on Advocare. And, you know, that's such an advanced and mindful thought, right? In some day and age, maybe the flyers and stuff worked. I have yet, in 16.5 years, ever gotten anybody from a flyer. And actually, I take that back. I did actually have a leg of business. If Kim's watching this, she'll remember Anthony De La Succi or Ducci and Beth Howells. That became a leg, and that was from a flyer, but it never stayed, right? So I think the key to understand here is, Fran, that flyers have a very low probability of producing results. Can they work? Yeah. But you see, at the end of the day, you're all of us are constantly risking time and resources to be able to, you know, figure out, hey, can I, it's always a risk of risk reward. If I spend $20 or $30 or $50 on a stack of flyers, and then I pass all these flyers out, what's it cost me? It cost me $50, and it's cost me the time of flying them out. This costs you something else too. It costs your heart and soul and psychology, because now you have a belief system that you're doing something that's legitimate, that's valid, and you start developing the subconscious bias towards a result. Okay, and that's probably the most dangerous part, because then you do this, you pass these flyers out, and then nothing happens, and then you say, oh my gosh, this doesn't work, forget it. Right? So my belief system, and you know, your third part about, you know, reflecting Advocare, that's one thing, but here's the thing. If Mike Farrow, my sponsor, said, yeah, Z, you got to go out and sell flyers, we would never be platinum today, because it's not duplicatable. What is duplicatable? Hey, let's figure out a couple of people who you're real close friends with. Doesn't matter where they live, because the technology and all that stuff. And so that's what you want to do, friend, is you want to go to a list of people who know you and people who trust you. Think Christmas card list, think close personal friends, think of people from your past, from school, from vocational school, maybe from an old job. That's how you want to be thinking, those kind of people. Because once you get those people on the list, then the idea becomes, well, how do I connect with them? Okay, so that's a good question. I'm not a believer in things like flyers and things like that. But, you know, ultimately, you're an independent distributor. You got to do what you feel like is the best thing to do. Number two, do you still see value in still trying to do nutritional workshops? I'm so glad you asked that, guys. I'll tell you why. I think it's huge value in nutritional workshops. I mean, massive and huge value. If you are nutritionally sound and if your energy reflects it. Here's what I'm saying. If you're fat and you try to do nutritional, I'm not saying Fran is fat or anything. You know, I'm not saying that, Fran. But I'm saying if you're fat, you're doing a nutritional workshop, you're probably not going to get a lot of hits. Okay, I saw something today about somebody saying, hey, you know, you guys may have known I've kind of put some weight on or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, I'm not attracted to that at all, right? I'm going to be attracted to someone who says, yeah, here's what's going on. Here's how I take care of myself. And they have a track record, they have a history. I feel comfortable with that. Now, that's just me as a consumer. So I think the nutritional workshops are great. Be mindful of who you're inviting. And inside of the nutritional workshop, right, keep the main thing, which is educating them and then utilizing the products to help them understand. And that helps you bridge the gap. So let's say I'm doing a nutritional workshop and, you know, and I'm talking about this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. And somebody has this moment of clarity. And they're like, oh man, this is so great. You know, I'm going to really change my health this holiday season. And I think this is really going to help me. Well, that might be a great opportunity for me to say, well, what's your game plan? You know, what are you planning on doing? And then whatever they say, hey, that sounds really awesome, but have you thought about the new Slim and Trim program? Because it addresses so many of the things we just talked about tonight. Maybe that's something you can put in there also. And now, because you are in a position of influence with that person in the topic of nutrition, the chances of them saying yes to an ST28 purchase is almost a no-brainer. Right. So I'm in high agreement there, Fran. I would do them till the cows come home. And I would say this too, because your question two ties into question number one. new area and whatnot. I learned a long time ago that if you take something you're passionate about and you give it away for free, okay? If you're passionate about something, you give it away for free, then it'll attract a bunch of people, the people who are interested in the thing that you want to give for free. And in that grouping, number one, they'll figure out that you're really passionate about the thing you're talking about. Number two, you get an opportunity to cherry pick with the best of the best. So let's say you are an expert photographer, for example, right? Most of the people who have the ability to charge for their time are going to charge for their time, but they're missing the boat, because we're not talking about getting paid for your time. You're talking about getting in front of people who can perceive your passion and skill level in this one thing, right? So what I would do, let's say I am a photographer. Let's say, and I'm not. I mean, I got a camera, but I'm taking pictures of random things. But let's say I'm a photographer, and let's say I know how to take really good pictures. And so what I might do is I might using some of these flyers you're talking about, I might put out the word and say, hey guys, free photography class, and have people who I don't know, right? This is only for people who I don't know. It's a cold market tactic. These people who are interested in photography, I'm teaching them all what I know about photography. And through the process of photography, I'm cherry picking, I'm watching to see, okay, who's the kind of person I want on my team. And then at this photography class, I'm probably going to serve Spark and maybe some bars and engage in conversation. And as what happens when you're with people who share a common joy with you, right? You start doing this, you start harmonizing, you start talking about life, you start talking about stuff, what's important to you, what's important to them. Well, at some point in time, you can tell them, yeah, I take my health really seriously. I'm doing this program called ST20, go take a look at it. That's how you break into the cold market, okay? I think that's enough about that. And the last one is, last one's about setting goals. Yeah, you got to set goals, guys. You got to have pay-per-view goals. You got to be out there talking. I'm reading a book right now, and it's called The 12-Week Year. It was recommended to the Diamond Group, the Diamonds from Double Diamond, real close friend of ours, Wayne Johnson. And this book is just blowing me away. I recommend it to anybody, but at the end of the day, here's the deal. Here's the deal. We are December 20th. 24 hours ago, plus maybe half hour, the program was released. Okay. Your best time investment is to mine your life. Mine. Think hard hat, light pickaxe. Mine your business. Mine your life. Kim and I had a conversation earlier today, and I asked her, I said, babe, now's a good time for you to go talk to all of your retail customers throughout, period of time, last year. Well, here's the problem. The problem is Kim's record keeping and keeping track of her retail people is really not that swanky. She has a folder. She's got to go back to the folder to go look through it, right? But she has a system. So the best use of time is to connect with people who love our products but are not part of the family yet. The worst use of your time is to be talking to your team, getting them to do something. They ain't going to do it. I saw a message from one of our distributors, and she talked about she sent 115 texts to everyone on her team. And I'm thinking to myself, why? I mean, those distributors are going to make their decision about that ST28 based on their needs, where they're at, whatever, and what they're going to do for the new year, right? But this is about new. That's how we get the 3-star gold. New. We don't continue swirling around in the pot of distributors who are at best doing whatever they can do. You love them. Man, you're blessed by the fact that those people are part of your team. But the idea is to get to 3-star gold. It puts you in the mindset of, I need to find 3 people frontline. Who are they going to be? They don't exist yet on your team. They're future leaders. And see, that takes some courage. That takes a lot of courage, right? Because it kind of stresses you out. You get call reluctant. You're like, oh my gosh, I got to make a list. I got to call these people. I got to talk to these people. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Hey, but that's part of the territory. My sponsor, Mike, used to tell me, Mike Ferry used to tell me, he'd say, Z, if you ever want to know how special this business is, go in your neighborhood, knock on the doors, all the doors. You're going to find lawyers and ask them what they do for a living. You'll find doctors. You'll find dentists. You'll find engineers. You'll find homemakers. You'll find personal trainers. You'll find teachers. You'll find preachers. He just went all down all these different professions. He goes, but you know what you're not going to find? I'm like, what? He goes, you're not going to find a diamond distributor because they are that rare, or a professional in direct sales because they are that rare. And so I challenge each and every one of you, be the anomaly in your neighborhood. Forget Instagram and forget Facebook. It can be part of a strategy. I have no problems with being part of a strategy, but your money-making strategy, the best use of your time, is thinking about, how do I connect with person X on my list? How do I connect with my mail lady? How do I connect with that nice neighbor that always smiles when I go past driving? My freaking nice neighbor who always smiles when I, go driving by is a freaking distributor under somebody in Ohio. So I thought, but whatever. But the point is, be mindful and be alert to the people and the joy and the energy of the people around you. And that's who you want to connect with and get comfortable with them. Let them get comfortable with you. The time for Advocare will be there. But cold market is cold market. It takes time to warm it up. So have an effective strategy for your cold market, social media, human to human, and then have a strategy with your people, the people from your world. All right. You guys are awesome. Kim and I love you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We're going to be off the grid here for probably a couple of weeks. But, if we work with you and you've got someone you want us to meet, you know how to get a hold of us, and we'll use technology and get to meet them. Right. Peace out, guys. Bye.